In my mind, I'm running around a cold and empty space. Just put your arms around me, tell me everything's okay. Break my bones, but you won't see me fall. The rising tide, you rise against the moon.
Oh my gosh, we did it! We got online!
Oh, won't you hold my hand?
Me too. Hello, so good to be here.
Oh my God, this is my song. This is my jam. I'm so happy you all said yes. Keep it going, Avera. Oh my
All
God.
right.
Glad you're all here. Oh, we had a year, have we not? Have we not? It's all about self-care, connection. We need to connect with each other. I miss you. We need to connect with ourselves. All about self-care. Tell us where you're joining us from in the chat. We have
You got me and you're never gonna
today. We have Italy. We have London. We have Ontario. We have Toronto. And then also we have Chicago. We have LA. We have New York, Atlanta, Arizona, Palm Beach, Naples, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Nashville, Portland, and Dallas. Your prayers are with you all in Dallas, Texas. Happy birthday to my sister Susan, whose birthday is today and who is winning with a new vaccine in her body. Woo! Okay. Oh my God. I love this song. Okay, so we are not on Zoom, everybody. Okay? This is called Hop In. I chose it for a reason. We are not going to see each other in a gallery. I don't know how you're seeing me and Avera right now, but please welcome Avera, DJ Avera from New York City.
Hello, everyone.
That's Avera. When I found her on Instagram, when I was searching the hashtag female DJs, you can still play the music loud, Avera. I saw her face and I was like, that's who I want. Because you know, when you're trading out, you gotta pick the winner. I saw her light and I was like, yes. Thank you for saying yes, Avera.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here, Sally Lou.
I'm so happy that you're here. From New York City, we have our Love Wins cocktail glasses made by my friends, Carrie and Patty at The Gift Studio, which you can find on Instagram, shop.giftstudio. Julie's putting all this in the chat because I can't do the chat too. But toast, everybody. Whatever is in your glass, let it be something that fills you up. So a toast to love winning in 2021.
Cheers.
Let's raise our... Oh, yes. Okay, volume, Avera. Okay. So for those of you who know me, you know I love a dance party. I have them all the time at the Oprah Winfrey Show. If you've been watching my Instagram this week, I've been having them alone at home because I'm not going to stop dancing. None of us should. Oh, my goodness. This is a day. You know, we've been through a lot, everybody. We have had a very challenging year. And in that challenge, we have faced everything and more. We have faced a global pandemic. We have faced an economic crisis, police brutality, continued racial injustice, and an assault on our democracy. And today, look at us. We're standing. We're dancing. We are living. We are learning. We are loving. We are together. We're hopeful. And we all deserve a party. And that is why we're here today. For me, love wins. I'm not going to the video yet, Jenna, but love wins because we have a new president. We have a new vice president, a woman of color. We have a vaccine that's coming, rolling out. Some of you have already been vaccinated. Let us know if you've been vaccinated. That's a win. I don't know about you, but I miss you. I miss you all so much. I really
Love wins because when we come from a place of love, we show love to ourselves.
Love wins because love is so much stronger than fear.
Love wins because love is what binds all of humanity together. Love comes from a place of love, from a place of giving. And when everything you say, do, or behave comes from that place of love, we win.
Because love heals, and it renews, and we all need that.
Love wins because we get to be our authentic selves.
And because we got to get married.
Yay! And love wins because we surround ourselves with people who believe in us and in our dreams.
Love wins because love is family!
Love wins because it is the one thing in the world that does not have a limited supply.
I believe love wins when there is unity and diversity. When that happens, love always wins.
Love wins because love is the fight against injustice.
Love wins because for the first time in 4 long years, I feel like the future is bright.
Love wins because anything less won't heal our country's wounds.
Love wins because it's love.
Love wins for me through self-care.
And love wins because I am learning to love myself just as I am more and more every single day.
Love wins because it shows how much your heart can truly grow.
Love wins because it's literally the only thing we have right now.
Love wins! Yay!
Love wins because you all said yes.
Thank you. Listen, for whatever reason you said yes, you are here on purpose. You may have no idea what you're going to take away from today, but you are here for a reason. And you know how that all works because you are my Love Speaks people, my Love Speaks circle of love. So you know that you're here on purpose. Maybe it'll be a joke that Alex tells or something poignant one of our speakers says or something that someone says in the chat. You're going to walk away different, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Everybody, hold hands. What we do at the Love Wins house party. It's crazy that we can be in our living rooms or our bedrooms or our bathrooms and still feel disconnected. I could really delay us, but I'll try not to.
I love this one too. It's okay.
I love it so much. But right now, I'm going to ask Avera to take a quick break so that we can get to Heather. Come back hot with your music, Avera. There's going to be a lot of dancing in and out of beautiful segments today. There's Heather. You can unmute. Let's get to Heather. Okay, so Heather's mural on the side of a Chicago building made me make my husband stop the car. And I said, I got to get out. I got to shoot this mural. It's beautiful. And, you know, I didn't know who Heather Gentile Collins was, but evidently she was the artist behind the car stopping mural. And then because of the beautiful magic of Instagram, I reached out to her. And one fall sunny evening, we had apple cider and hot cornbread downtown. We had so much fun. Her story is so powerful, but she also has powerful talent, which is in art. And so today, as an artist and muralist, she is bringing her talent to the Love Wins house party by being live in her studio at her home down in Roscoe Village in Chicago, and is going to paint a Love Wins mural to be given to the community in North Lawndale with my block, my hood, my city, to remind every kid that's there, to remind them that love wins. Heather, tell us about that blank canvas.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, what an intro. Thank you, Sally Lou. I am so excited. I'm taking my cue from your book and from the My Block, My Hood, My City organization, which continues to inspire me. And so I'm so excited. Usually a mural is a public piece of art painted on a wall. Because of COVID, we're going to paint it on this huge, gigantic 5-foot canvas.
Well, let's also say the 18 inches of snow provides us not to be outside. So go ahead.
The 3 feet gets in our way. So I'm so excited. I'm going to just let the process happen over the next 2 hours. It's going to be a quick process, but there will be a heart in it.
Of course. And where's your inspiration coming from? Your heart?
I always lead with my heart. Absolutely. It's in everything I do, but especially with my art. My goal for my art has always been for it to make an impact. And so what an opportunity to make public art that spreads a message. And your message and Jamal's message with My Block, between the two of them, we're gonna spread some knowledge with the world. I love it.
Yes. My Block, My Hood, My City is an organization. Jamal Cole is the director and founder. And what they do is they offer to under-resourced Chicago Public Schools students an opportunity to come out of their neighborhood and experience the city in new ways. And so that's what they're creating just incredible leaders. I spent a tour this summer. We did the tour of North Lawndale and met so many of the students that are in the program and just was wowed by their amazing skills. And I want to say that Heather made this Love Wins tote. It is specifically for today, so you can find it on the House of Shan website when you visit the expo later. It is organic cotton. Everyone is one of a kind with her Love Wins, and it reminds us all that love wins, not to mention all kinds of other things and being green. So we're going to talk about that later because someone's going home with one because we're going to do giveaways. All right, Heather, get to work. You have
I'm
two
ready to
more.
go.
Look at you.
Can't wait.
Oh my God. All right, Heather, thank you so much.
See you soon.
See you soon. Okay, nothing like pressure. By the way, I didn't mention, but she worked at the Oprah Winfrey Show. I actually don't think we ever met. She was a set designer and she made all of our beautiful things there, like, more beautiful, and all of our reveals and home makeovers and things like that. So she's got that Oprah spirit in her, which is, I guess, why we met. Anyway, okay. When I was thinking about this Love Wins house party, I knew that I could not throw it if the election didn't go the way it did. And I am so grateful that it did. I think I can speak for all of us and say we are so grateful that it went the way it did. Obviously, not because I could have a party for all of you, but because we could have a party for a nice long 4 years and hopefully longer. There's so much to be thankful for. This new administration brings love and values back to the White House. Got it checked out. And inclusivity, which is so important to love. And when I thought about who I wanted to give the keynote today, I only thought of one person, and his name is Paolo Presta. Paolo and I met when he was an audience member at the Oprah Winfrey Show, and then he became a guest on Oprah's Wildest Dreams season. A lot of you will know that that epic clip. A lot of you will know it because you've seen it, and it's an epic clip when Oprah just walks into his family's grocery store and says, "Paolo, pack your bags. You're going to LA to do a walk-on role on Will and Grace." It is one of the greatest reactions on television ever. And it's filled with pure love. And if you've never seen it, all I can say is Google it, boo. Okay? Because you'll cry your freaking eyes out. And Julie Simpson, who produced that segment at Oprah, is here today. And it means the world to me and to Paolo that you're here, Julie. Thank you. I feature Paolo in my January episode of the Love Speaks series. So the clip is in the show notes, but you can find it on YouTube too. Paolo's story is the definition of love winning. So get your tissues out for this clip that's coming up. They're under your seat. Oh God, take a look at this beautiful, beautiful clip from Paolo's wedding.
First came out, I thought I had to give up on the dream of marrying someone I truly loved.
I am so deeply humbled by the fact that this moment in history allows me to stand at this altar and marry the man that I love.
When you stake your life on love and not on fear, it will get you to a moment like this that you could not have imagined. A moment that is brimming over with justice, that is brimming over with equality, that is brimming over with peace, that is brimming over with a new dream for the entire human family. This kind of love is the solution for every problem we have in the world. Where there's injustice, where there's poverty, where there's bigotry, where there's racism, where there's violence, this is the answer.
Okay, hi. Oh my gosh, Sally Lou. Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to be here as your keynote speaker at the Loved Ones House Party. When Sally Lou told me about this event and what it was called, it spoke to me so deeply because despite all the negative and hateful energy that has been on full blast lately, we won. Love won. And we deserve the chance to come together in a safe way and celebrate and party our hearts out. You know, as most of you know, my personal motto is dream big. But if I had another motto, I would literally steal Sally Lou's, and it would be love wins, because love is the fuel that any dream needs to succeed. I'm gonna say it again. Love is the fuel that any dream needs to succeed. Now I sit here in front of you, a living, breathing example of how love can win. And make no mistake, in order for love to win, there have to be battles. And I have had many battles where I was forced and faced with moments of surrendering to fear or taking a risk and betting on myself. Every time when I got out of my own way, love won. Listen, love wants to win. So if you just let it, you can have experiences beyond your wildest dreams. My intention today is that by sharing my personal story with you, you can see how to reject fear and doubt and how leading with love can change your life. And my life did change. And it was changed right here in Chicago by someone we all know and love, Oprah Winfrey. Okay, so this is how it went down. First of all, I grew up in a large Italian Catholic family. My parents came to Chicago from Italy, from a very small town. The year was 1971. I have 6 amazing siblings. And you know, my dad, when he came here, he had dreams. And one of his dreams was to open a grocery store and have all of his kids be a part of. I always tell people, my story is just like the character Tula from the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where Tula had dreams and hopes, but you know, she didn't know what to do or how to talk to her dad because she was working at the family restaurant. Well, that was the same for me. I didn't want to disappoint my father, you know, so I started working at the grocery store since I was 11 years old, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know what to do, who to talk to, but there was one person, Oprah Winfrey. So I started writing her letters with an S, letters, hundreds of letters. This is before Oprah.com. I remember being in my room writing a letter, Dear Oprah, only you can help me with this, to make my father, to make my family understand that I have other dreams. And you know, they would come in my room, my siblings, what are you doing? You're writing a letter to Oprah. Oh my God, stop that. She ain't gonna get those letters. It was just, we were joking around. And then one day, it was October 2004, I went with a friend. We were at the taping of the Oprah show, because let me tell you, I went to so many tapings of the Oprah show. I remember the number that I would call. It was 312-591-9222. I would go upstairs on my dad's phone. There was like 6 different lines, and I would call until I got through, because the number was always busy. So if you got through, it's like winning the lottery. So I would call, and then I would go to the taping, and you can only go, I remember, I think it was like once every 6 months. And the first 2 people I would see when I would wait in line and go inside Harpo Studios was Siobhan and Sally Lou. And I know they were thinking, oh my God, here's that stalker boy, like he's stalking us again. They say no till today, but I think they like, oh, here he is. But walking inside of Harpo Studios felt so magical for me. It felt like going to Disney World, because whatever things I was going through my personal life, it was forgotten because I was inside this place where it was beautiful, magical. So takes you back to where I was, October 2004. I was with my friend, we're sitting there, and I told him, and I looked at him, I said, just wait. One day, I am gonna come out of those wood doors that Oprah Winfrey comes out. And he looked at me, yeah, okay. Well then, a few weeks later, my ex, he called me and he said, hey, I can get us a tour of Harpo Studios. Do you wanna go? Yeah, I wanna go. So he's like about to pick me up, and I'm like putting on my awesome outfit, because you know what I'm thinking. I am gonna see Oprah Winfrey. Like, I'm gonna see her. So I put on my outfit, he picks me up, we get inside Harpo Studio, and then the producer, Layla, gave us a tour. And you know what I'm doing? Each room that we're getting a tour of, I'm looking, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't see her, but she's gonna be coming up. I mean, the tour is amazing, don't get me wrong. But then, in the middle of the tour, Layla said, oh, by the way, Oprah's not here. When she said that, I was so sad. Now, I didn't tell that to Layla or to David or anyone, but I was so sad at that moment. But I'm like, it's okay. I'm still getting a tour. This is cool. But when we left, I was so sad. I was so sad. So I said to my ex, hey, can you take me? I'm just going to go to the gym. I just wanted to be by myself. I went to the gym, East Bank Club, right here in Chicago. I go to the men's locker room, I change, and I'm walking downstairs. And who do I see in the weight room? Now remember, this is the same day I just got a tour of Harpo Studios and Oprah wasn't there. But that same day, I see her. I see Oprah Winfrey in the weight room. And I was like, oh my God, gather your thoughts. Ooh, like I was scared, nervous, excited, crying, happy. I'm like, this is your moment. You're gonna get a minute. And I was watching her. As Oprah Winfrey came out of the weight room, I stopped her. And I knew what my intention was. My intention was to say thank you. It was to say thank you because I received an education from her that I received nowhere else, not from my family, not from my friends, not from a teacher, but from her in the show. And it was to be my authentic self. And so I called her Miss Winfrey and she said, Miss Winfrey, you can call me Oprah. I said, okay, Oprah. So then, we talked and she gave me a hug and then she said, what is your name? And I said, Paolo. And we left. I didn't even do a workout. I went upstairs, got my gym bag, and was walking home. And I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I remember this phone call. Like, you're never going to guess who I just saw at the gym. Who? Oprah. Like, yes, Oprah Winfrey. And it was just that was an amazing day. But from what I know today, Oprah Winfrey went back to the studio, and she was having a meeting, and she told everyone about me. And she says, I met this great guy who made my day. And it was just amazing. 2 weeks later, one of her producers, Andrea, walks into her office with a headshot and a letter. And she said, Oprah, I think we have a story. And this was during the Wildest Dream season. And as soon as Oprah saw that headshot, the photo, she knew. She knew it was me. It was me in that picture. So she said, let's make his dream come true. So then, November 11, 2004, I went to work. It was a Thursday morning, just like any other day. I get to the store. I was working at customer service, and I was doing labels for a pasta brand called Barilla. And I remember very specifically, I was increasing the price 10 cents more, and I knew customers were not going to like that, but I was just doing my job, And then around 9 a.m., as I'm facing the computer, I hear someone walk inside the grocery store. Paolo, is Paolo here? I turn around, and I was in disbelief. I couldn't believe it. There she was again. Oprah Winfrey. You think I thought about any of those letters that I wrote to her? Nope, not one of those letters. I didn't even think of it. I was just like, what is she doing here? In the suburbs outside of Chicago, and my family was with her. My siblings, my parents, nieces, nephews, friends, customers, cashiers. And she's like, Paolo, you can stop writing me letters. Okay. I felt guilty when she said that, but it's okay. And then she's like, you have a dream. And then that's when Sally Lou said in the beginning, she got me a walk-on speaking role on NBC's Will and Grace. Oh boy, when she said that, I got so emotional, excited. I remember it was like yesterday, but this was in 2004. Remember that. Because I think that person in me that was hiding for such a long time and just trying to please his family, it was like, wow. So all that excitement that people see till today, it was just that person saying, thank you, thank you. And then I looked over and I see my father crying. It was beautiful. I remember walking outside with Oprah and she said, one of the greatest moments was seeing me when I called my dad and my mom to come inside while I was behind the service desk and I hugged them. It was beautiful because I think that's when my family, especially my dad, got it, when they said, wow, my son has other dreams and I don't want to stop him. So then a week later, I was flown to Los Angeles with Julie Simpson, the producer that Sally Lou had mentioned earlier. And let me just tell you how much I love her because I could not have done that trip without her. So Julie Simpson and I, we were in first class. Let me tell you, it was my first time in first class. It was like amazing. Like I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, whoa. And then they were playing the Oprah coming inside my dad's store, my reaction to everyone in that plane on the TV monitors. And so they were clapping and cheering me on. It was like a dream. So then we had a car service pick us up. Like my first time, this is before Uber like Lyft. Like we had a car service pick us up, and then we were being driven to CBS Radford in Los Angeles, where Will and Grace was being taped. So I get there, you know, the show that I would watch every week, a show that had gay characters that for me was like, wow. So we get there, I meet the cast, and my gosh, was it just amazing. They were so kind, so funny. So we started taping, rehearsing, you know. And then came that Thursday, live taping in front of an audience. And I did my one line, and it was, hey, Will, do you have time to go over the Morris case? I did it so good, you guys. It was so good that they were cheering me on, the audience. And it was so good that the famous director, Jim Burrows of Will and Grace, said, Paulo, we're going to give you a second line. Okay. And then he told me the second line. And when he told me that second line, I was so scared. I was so scared. That second line was, okay, that's why I'm the second gayest lawyer here. Now, let me tell you something. Yeah, it's funny. But right away when they had the word gay in there, I wasn't out to my father. I was so scared. I did not want that line. I did not want that line that I messed it up a few times. On the Oprah show, they show it as a blooper, and it was funny. But for me, it was so scary because I didn't know what I was saying. When I walked in to deliver that line, I would call Will's character my character's name, Mark, because I was living in fear. I was scared. I was so scared. So then Deborah Messing came up to me, who plays Grace, and she said, hey, you got this. You got this. And then I delivered that line, and I did it really good because I was living in the moment. You know, when I look back, I could see what happens when fear wins instead of love winning. Here I was living my dream come true moment, and fear crept in and tried to ruin it. But I didn't allow that. So remember, I told you about the story when I was with my friend and I said, hey, one day I'm gonna come through those Oprah doors. That was 2 months before, because then back in November, I was at the Oprah show, and when Oprah called my name, I came out of those wood doors that Oprah would come out of every single day. Now, this all leads me to where I am today. I am living my dream. I'm hosting my own talk show, A Spoonful of Paulo, where I have interviewed celebrities from Oprah Winfrey to Carol Burnett to Rosie O'Donnell to Sterling K. Brown to Tyra Banks and so many others. You know, after the Oprah show, I tried to keep acting because that's what I thought I wanted to do. Like, I had the dream of being Joan Collins. I would watch Dynasty with my mother every day on Thursdays. It was like, I wanted to be Joan Collins. Shoulder pads, like, hello, like Crystal Cannington. Like, I wanted to be her. Well, no. Well, I did General Hospital over the summer of 2005, and just doing that soap opera, I felt like I wasn't aligned with it. It wasn't my dream. I thought it was, but it wasn't. And as I'm living in LA, I remember having one day, I'm like, wait a second, what am I doing? I grew up watching talk shows my entire life. Every single daytime talk show, especially Oprah Winfrey show, I watched it every day. So I said, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a job. So I got a job in the Ellen DeGeneres show, and it was great. I was a production assistant. And then I got a job on CBS's talk show, The Talk. And I was the second assistant to the ladies, to the co-host. And let me tell you, it is not the prettiest job. You know, I clean the dressing room, I get their breakfast order, lunch orders, I get their clothes ready. It's just, you know, you're doing odds and end work, but I loved every second of it. I loved it so much because every single day when those ladies would line up at 11 a.m. to go on stage live, it's like I wanted to go behind Sharon Osbourne. Like, I just wanted to go with them. Like, I'm a co-host, but it doesn't work like that. But I had this excitement, this feeling of this is where I needed to be. So then one day I came home to Patrick, who was my boyfriend at the time. And I said, hey, can you help me? Like, can we have our own talk show? Like, because I didn't want to wait for the phone to ring. I did not want to wait for someone to call me and say, hey, we can help you out with this. I want to do this on my own. So Patrick went upstairs. He worked on a logo, the name of the show, and he came down and was like, okay, I think I got it. And when I saw the logo and the title, A Spoonful of Paulo, I knew it. I knew this is where we needed to be. So then, you know, now we're in our 10th season, and I have been able to do things that I could not have dreamed of. Like interviewing Oprah Winfrey at Harpo Studios. I was one of the last people to interview Oprah on the chairs that she would sit in. It was me. And it was 10 years after she made my dream come true. What a full circle moment that was. You know, unlike other shows that are very structured and produced and, you know, try to get sound bites, I get to have these real intimate conversations with so many of my idols. And let me tell you, it is such a dream. Now, this brings me to another part of my life where I literally had to surrender fear to let love win. On June 19, 2015, my mother and father walked me down an aisle at All Saints Episcopal Church to marry my husband. Sometimes I still can't believe that actually happened, because when I came out, I thought I was giving up my dream of getting married. But that goes to show anyone out there that miracles can happen. And when you get out of your own way and you stand in your truth and you let love win, great things will come your way. Now listen, I always try to do the right thing. And live the life that I was supposed to live. My older sister got married, and then my older brother got married. So, okay, I was next in line. So I dated my high school sweetheart, Casey, who is my Grace today. And we dated, and then I proposed to her. Okay, Italian, you propose, you get on your knee, you give the ring, hey, we're gonna get married. And everybody was so excited. It was like my parents, everyone. But something wasn't right in me. And I didn't know what, at the time, I didn't know what it was. So we started fighting a lot in our year of our engagement. And Casey said, hey, we should maybe go see a therapist. So we started seeing a therapist. And then the therapist, after a couple sessions, wanted to see me alone. And when she saw me alone, she was the first one to ask me, not to ask me, to tell me. And she said, Paulo, do you know that you are gay? Do you know that no one's ever said that to me? I've been made fun of. I've been called every single name. But to tell me directly and say that, I don't think I've ever cried as much as I did that day in her office. I cried so much because you have to remember, I grew up in a Catholic Italian family where today I still have relatives. I have some friends. I have some people who don't want to include me in their life because I am gay. And I was taught that being gay is sin. Being gay, you're going to go to hell. So I was living in fear. But when she said that, the therapist said it to me, something inside of me clicked. And as much crying I did or how scared I was, I knew that the first person I needed to come out to was Casey. So a couple of weeks went by, and I remember I called her and I said, hey, Casey, can you meet me at Starbucks right by our house? So when she came there, she came inside my car. It was so hard because I had to tell her something that I knew I was going to mess up her life. So I said, Casey, and I made sure to say the word, I'm gay. And she was heartbroken. And maybe she knew a little bit, but to hear it from me and to say that, I knew I had to do that, to live a truthful life and to be my authentic self. So we went our separate ways. And then she came back into my life because she knew that this is going to be a journey for me to tell my loved ones, my family, my friends, to say, this is who I am. So then I told my siblings, my older sister, she helped me out, and all my siblings were so supportive and so great. And I told my mom, and let me tell you something, mothers always know. She knew, my mother knew that I was gay, but she was waiting for me to tell her. But the last person to tell was my father. I was so scared to tell my father. For so many years, I cannot tell you, I was not able to be me with my father because I wasn't being honest with him. So it was my husband who told me, hey, Paulo, you do this for yourself, not for your father, you do it for yourself. So I remember that day. It was on Christmas Eve, 2010. We were going to pick up food at this restaurant called Amore Mio, and I didn't tell anyone that I was going to tell my father. I did not tell my mom or sibling because I knew if I told someone, they'd be like, oh, no, it's a Christmas. Are you crazy? Oh, do the sign of the cross. We cannot do this. And you get your father. I didn't tell anyone. So then I was with my dad. We were driving, and the second he parked in the parking lot of that restaurant, Celine Dion came on. I don't remember what song it was, but it was her voice. And I'm like, okay, I got to tell him before we get outside of the car. And I said, Dad, I have to tell you something. And he said, what? And I said, and he had his hand on the steering wheel. And I said, I don't know if you know, but I'm gay. And then he took his hand off the steering wheel, I remember, and he said, your mother and I just want you to be happy. Any kid out there who's struggling, those are the words that you want to hear. You want to hear that. So that was the start of me living my authentic life. Because since that day, I can't tell you how much my relationship has changed with my family, especially my father. Till today, I don't take it for granted because I lost so many years of not being my authentic self that I am making up for it right now. And every time my dad calls me, every single day I talk to him, do you know that he always asks me, they love Patrick so much. Oh, Patrick, how's he doing? It's so crazy because it's like this Italian guy who grew up in a town less than 50 people. And here he is, supporting me. So now that was also the start of realizing me getting married. I met my husband, Patrick, in 2007. And in 2008, voters in California passed Prop 8, which outlawed same-sex marriage in California. So love did not win that day. But instead of being defeated, we marched to protest and organized to fight back in the courts. In 2011, I gave Patrick a commitment ring, this ring. And since the government told us that we were not worthy of getting engaged, well, after 5 years battle, love finally did win because Prop 8 was overturned. Our commitment rings transformed into engagement rings right before our eyes. In 2015, exactly 1 week before the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationally, we walked down the aisle. We exchanged vows, and Reverend Ed Bacon gave a beautiful sermon. And you saw part of his words in the video that Sally Lou played. And let me quote him what he said again that day. He said, "This kind of love is the solution for every problem we have in the world. Where there's injustice, where there's poverty, where there's bigotry, where there's racism, where there's violence, this is the answer." There was not one person in that room that did not feel the love. I had my relatives watching in Italy. I had friends watching, everyone who was watching it and everyone in the church felt the love. It was basically all of our first time at a gay wedding, including me and Patrick. But we fought for that moment and we won. Love won. It won for me personally and for my entire community and country. Now look, that is my story. I am living my dream because I wasn't afraid to take chances on myself, and I knew when to ask for help. And it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, and I get a lot of rejection, but it's absolutely worth it. Now, my story is my story, but all of you have a story too. All of you have your own dreams, passions, motivations, and inspirations, and they are just as possible as mine. If you take anything away from my story today, I hope it reminds you that if you have a dream, no matter how big or small it is, you have to believe in yourself, be persistent, and let love be your fuel. In the past year, there has been so much heartache, anxiety, and fear that has taken a toll on us all. But these are the times when you can see the true power of love. I watched good people of this world come together to fight against injustice, bigotry, racism, and straight up lies. In such a force that, as scary as these times are, show me that love will win. Just like it won when everyone told me to stop wasting time writing letters to Oprah. Just like it won when I booked my dream interview after a publicist told me, and I quote her when she said, "I don't think your show is worth her time." Just like it won when people told me I would never be able to get married. It won in the White House and it won in the Senate when lots of experts were saying it was not possible. So think of that when someone tells you that something you want is impossible or a waste of time. Show them the power of what love can do. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Paolo Presta, I can't. I am telling you now, I have heard your story. I love your story. I have been boo-hooing. The chat is on fire. Gabrielle's not well. Paolo, I just never leave my life. Never leave my life because you make my life and everyone else's life around you better. I thank you for your heart. Your story is literally the definition of love winning. You have been so brave today. You have been so beautiful, so vulnerable, so kind. I love your family. You were never on our bad list. You were always on our good list. I promise you that. I have been a keynote speaker before, but I have never seen a keynote speaker like this. I am so in deep gratitude to you for sharing your message. Now get Patrick out here. Where's Patrick? Everybody around the my makeup's done, Patrick. Oh my God. I love you so much. Your Instagram humor just kills me. Keep it coming for more. You know what? Love has won today in every way, and I am so very grateful. Patrick, anything you want to say to your man?
I don't know. having to hold his hand and be like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. So
he sure did it. He did it in the best of ways. I hope you guys are going to stick around. I can't thank you enough. I'm indebted to you for life. Julie Simpson is bawling, I'm sure. Yes, cheers.
Yeah,
Marriage and your wedding and all of that. And please, I hope you stick around to dance with Avera because she's got Celine Dion coming up. Just so you know.
Yes.
And also, in the love-ins, if you get to like have a love-in moment with Patrick or Paolo, like how cool is that? So, oh wait, I've changed into my Love Wins house party sweatshirt.
Hey!
Love Wins. All right, guys, let me take a sip. Cheers.
Cheers. Love you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Oh. Thank you so much. Okay, I am going to bring Avera back. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. A new day. Crank it. Let's keep Jenna. Keep following Patrick up there for a second. I don't know if this was the song, but this is the song that I just drive down Lakeshore Drive and like blare it.
Yes.
Rain come down and wash away.
I wish I could have come out to Celine Dion. That's not fair.
Can you crank the volume, Avera?
Yes,
There
this
we
is
go.
for you, Paolo. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I know, Avera. A new day. This is a new day for everybody. Okay. Oh my God. Let's just take a moment with my girl. Yeah. Thanks, Trey.
Don't shed a tear.
Yeah, have fun with that, guys. Every mother and father in the house, every human in the house, every friend in the house. Nothing like that. I'm so grateful for it. That you got spiritually. So coming up is Alex Newman later. She's going to make us laugh. You can still play it. She's going to make us laugh. We need laughter. We need love. We need laughter after the year we've had. So let us know in the chat how are you feeling when you hear these messages of love and laughter. Also, please use the hashtag The Love Wins House Party and post on social so we can repost and share and tag me at Live Love Speaks. Okay? So we're going to do our first giveaway. And Jenna, we're going to roll. You're in yours too, Avera. I love it.
Yes, I love it.
Cheers to our swag from Character. Okay, so Jenna, you want to roll the video of all the things that people might be able to win.
Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. King Kong, kick the drum, running on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea, and I got my ping pong. This is great, heavy, can't hear the bass, boom, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this DJ like money. This go overload, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm time up, you know I glow up. Hey, so let's go. 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire.
Ready for our next incredible segment? 3 women who are leading with love in their own unique way. Roll that graphic.
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong?
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. This is our Leading with Love panel. We're going to wait for Rita to come back, but just everybody watching, get your journals out, get your phones out, get a cocktail napkin out, whatever you can, because the wisdom these ladies are going to throw down is worth noting. Here comes Rita. Rita, tab closed.
Yay!
Thank you, Rita. So all 3 women are passionate about what they do and how they bring love into the world. I get to call them my girlfriends. Some I've known for a long time, Rita. Some I've just recently cultivated a wonderful friendship with over the last 5 years. Bella Gandhi is the founder of Smart Dating Academy. Julie Smilansky is the CEO of Lifeway Foods. And Rita Coburn is a Peabody Award-winning producer and director. You can visit their expo booths when it's time to check them out and all of their social platforms and all the good that they put in the world. I am so grateful you're here with me today. We're all unmuted. So you can jump in, but I'm going to start with Bella. And Bella is like the freaking queen of love. She is love. Her story is so powerful. She knew she was a matchmaker from the day she was born, probably, but she used her skills as a young woman. And then, like, she started Smart Dating Academy, which it's not a matchmaking service. It's a service that helps you fix your picker, which means you are learning how to find love, the right love, which is phenomenal. And I guess when you lead with love, you find love. It just comes to you. It's one of those things. So Bella, let's start with you. You have made thousands of love matches. Not that you've made it, you've trained people how to find their love match. You have trained people how to find the lid to their pot, which is your soulmate. So you have so much love and you lead with love. And so many of us here today have love, but some of us are looking for love. But what does it take to be a love leader?
It takes love, right? I'm kidding. But really, every single one of you is a leader in love. You're all love leaders by the virtue of being here today, right?
Yes.
And I think to answer your question, what does it take to be a love leader? What did it take for me? I was lucky. I have a wonderful husband. I have wonderful kids, my family of origin, my parents, my friends. But I think what I had to learn to do to be a love leader, and I had no idea how hard this would be and how important it would be, is to love myself in the truest sense, right? I found myself plagued for 3 years. I was paralyzed. I couldn't start this business because I started listening to the voices. Like, who am I to start this? What if my process doesn't work? What if I fail? Will everybody reject me and abandon me, right? And so what I had to do is identify the thoughts and then learn to talk to myself like I would talk lovingly to the people in my life. And that was a really new skill for me, which ended up helping me not be paralyzed anymore and start the business 11 years ago. And so now to be the CEO of Love Every Single Day, it starts with the mindset of what I call being psychotically optimistic, right?
I love that.
And psychotic optimism is we tell our clients, I want you to know that love exists for you. It's a when, it's not an if. And then we help them to get into that mindset, get psychotically optimistic about it, and then look for partners that actually make them one thing. They make them happy through love. And that's not necessarily what's only good on paper and what our culture teaches, but it's helping people through love to find the lid to their pots that make them happy.
The lid to their pots. I mean, you have your Instagram lives on, is it Thursday nights?
Yeah.
Thursday nights that people tune into. It's a lifeline for so many. We're, if anybody listening, if you are joining us, if you think COVID and this pandemic is like, oh, I can't find love, this is the time to find love. How do you talk about that?
Oh, there's no better time. You guys, I started this in 2009, right? On a wing and a prayer. And in the last 11 years, I have never, ever, ever seen a better time to dip your toe into the dating pool, or hell, throw your bodies into the love ocean at this point, because COVID is horrible, but there are silver linings. And one of the silver linings is that it slowed dating down because people aren't rushing out to hook up, right?
And looking for what's better.
Yes, they're not looking for the narcissist, the avoidance. They've sort of self-selected themselves out, people that just want to have sex on the third date. So you're left with this pool of people that are they've been in touch with themselves and they're like, I don't ever want to quarantine alone again. And they're earnest about finding love. And dating feels like courtship because you can do video dates and get to know someone on these granular levels like never before. It's amazing.
It's true. Not in a bar where it's loud music and they're looking over you to see what pretty girl or boy is coming in next. And, it's kind of like what I was referring to. Like, I've made a lot of really close, beautiful new friendships in 2020. And I think that that's what this experience has allowed us, that as hard as this pandemic has been, it has allowed us to really focus on the people whose lights are shining bright and you want them in your life. And so I would imagine that is the same thing for love. what happens to you? I mean, like I said, you have helped thousands of people find love, get married, and have children. You've been invited to hundreds and hundreds of weddings. What does it feel like when someone comes to you and says, Bella, I found my person?
But share it, right? Right.
Yeah.
And first of all, it feels amazing. In times where we actually all sat in an office, we would be cracking a lot of champagne open.
Right.
But the funny thing is, everybody comes to us at a different place. Some people are 22. Some people, I have an 82-year-old client on our books right now, right? And for some people, they want that, I want to be married, I want to have kids. Okay, that's great. And when that happens for that person, the champagne is popped. But then there are other people, maybe that have been through a bad divorce and they're 55 years old and they're like, geez, Bella, I haven't been on a date since 1986. Like, success for me would be like finding 3 fun dates to go on in the next 3 months. When that person goes on their 3rd fun date, we're cracking the champagne open. The person that hasn't been able to get to the 4th date, they get ghosted after every 3rd date, champagne cracks open. So everybody's love and the hurdles that they want to jump over are different. So for us, there's always celebration.
What's the number one thing people looking for love can do right now?
Be psychotically optimistic.
What does that mean?
It means know that love exists for you if you want it, and stop telling yourself the bad story and being stuck. I'm too old. There's no good people out there. I'm too heavy. I'm too damaged. I've got too much stuff. Stop telling yourself. Just say, look, the lid to my pot exists. Love exists for me. It's a when, not an if. And when you truly start to believe that, right? Because any success that we have in our lives has all started right here.
Right.
And so your love success also starts here. So when you get psychotically optimistic and bathe in mine, if you're not feeling it, I'll give it to you in fire hose doses.
Of course,
know that love exists for you, and then take one step that can get you closer to it. Maybe I can talk you into getting online the right way. There is a wrong way and a right way, but think about doing something now to take advantage of this wave of people during COVID that want to find love.
And you know what Paolo said, I wrote it down and now I can't find it, but he said something that really struck a chord with me, which is like, don't wait. Like when he wanted to make his talk show, don't wait for someone. That's like when I wrote my book, I wasn't going to wait for a New York publisher to say, I'm sorry, you don't have enough followers on Instagram. I was going to write my book no matter what. And you know what I say? This is what I wanted to say when he was doing this. If you want your stage, buy one yourself.
Hell to the
stage. And also, if you want love, go out and get it.
Go out
there. It's not that hard.
Go get it. Somebody sent me, they said they called me the fairy godmother of love. So somebody sent me a wand a few months ago. So anybody that needs a little zhuzh, needs a little love, I'm waving my wand for you right now and sending you sparkly hearts.
And you know what? And the truth is that your Smart Dating Academy is really, truly school. It's a program, it's curriculum for helping you find the love of your life, but you also offer so much on your Instagram account at Smart Dating Academy that people can use as a free resource to find love. So do not go away, because we want more answers from you, my love queen, my love. I love you so much. Let me just say that when I first met Bella 2 years ago from our dear friend Kathleen Henson, who I hope is on the call today. What is this? At the party. I hope you're at the party, Kathleen. And I hope I get a love in with you. Kathleen, all roads lead to Kathleen for me too. And Bella and I were at this beautiful home in downtown Chicago, and we were assigned to the same table. And all of a sudden she came up and she's like, "Hi, Sally Lou." And I was like, "Hello, you know my name and you used my whole name," which is rare. And I love you because I know no one. Now, what I didn't know is that you also knew my friend Danielle Robay, who's also here today. Hello, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
And so you immediately made me feel love. And I can't thank you enough for that. I have been inserting myself into your life ever since. And I'm so
love you.
grateful for all the love that you bring to this world and to so many people who have found love. So I couldn't do this Love Wins house party without you. I'm going to move to Julie, but stay tuned, Bella and Rita, you too. Julie Smolansky, who I also met from a dear friend, Peter Berkman. Okay, so love is messy, love is hard, love is work. That's why love wins, because hate is easy. It's an easy option, right? But love is hard. And you are leading your company, Lifeway Foods. You are a CEO. In fact, you were the youngest CEO to be named of a publicly traded company at just 27 after your dad died suddenly, right? Like, props for that. And you even heard at your dad's Shiva, one of his friends doubt your ability. What drives you in your passion every day as you lead this company during this pandemic? And how have you changed as a CEO this year?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Sally, for that beautiful
Sally Lou,
for that beautiful introduction, and just such a warm welcome. And this is such a fun way to spend Saturday with all of you talking about love. And that's, it's what, love wins. That it's exactly what you're talking about. Love always wins. And, in that moment when my father's friend said that there's no way a 27-year-old girl could, run a company, it fueled me. It was that darkness that fueled me. And it, even to this day, it inspires me to prove him wrong, and I just decided that failure was not an option. And, I thought about how hard my parents worked to come to the United States. We were immigrants from the former Soviet Union. We were refugees. We came with $116 in our pocket. Wow. My mother learned English watching General Hospital, and Oprah, by the way. Right. And many of the conversations that, I was listening to, it was Oprah that was teaching me, actually, because my parents were in the middle of building their business and, setting roots in the US. So, I feel like Oprah is my mom, and she was such a role model to me. And
our siblings.
Yes, her messages resonated. I mean, at some point, she was such a lifeline for me. She was such a, and continues to be. We're not to, I don't want to talk about her like in the past tense, but she even today continues to be a strong role model. And, this idea that, I did not know what I was doing, and I had to follow my gut at each point. And, what I've come to realize is that when you choose to take care of yourself, when you choose to make healthy food choices, like, Lifeway, which is, we are saying, I choose love. I choose to love myself. I choose to put myself first, to put my oxygen mask on before I can help anyone else. And that's what, through this pandemic, what I've tried to instill in my team, that, they have to take care of themselves first so that we can go on and continue to take care and continue to bring food to the nation.
You said to me when we talked a few weeks ago that self-care is literally love winning, and it has stuck with me. And I mentioned it when we started. So I want to ask each of you, and then I'm going to come back to more questions for you, Julie. How do you, Julie, practice self-care right now?
Yeah, I mean, lots of, time to be still, to be mindful, to actually hear what my gut is trying to say.
Your gut.
Yes, my gut. You got to love your gut, treat your gut well. We are learning so much about the gut, the fact that 90% of serotonin comes from the gut, and there is a mind-gut connection. And when we are under high stress, like we have been under for the last several years, not just the last year, but this last year has been so difficult. We're grieving, we've lost jobs, our communities have been dismantled. I mean, Texas is a humanitarian crisis happening. Right. I mean, there has been so much devastation.
If anybody is interested, Julie, put it in the chat at Minnie's Food Pantry. My friend Cheryl Jackson So many of our friends, Marissa Tignay works as a volunteer there, and they are feeding people in Dallas. I've been sending stuff from Amazon, and Julie, go to Julie's Instagram. She posted today about helping our friends in Dallas. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Dallas, all throughout Texas. Yeah, so the day that the pandemic started and the lockdown started happening in March, we already knew that we have 20% of kids in public school systems that are food insecure, and not having that one nutritious meal at school is devastating to many families. So we started making extra product in our facilities and manufacturing products to go across the country to food pantries, hospitals, healthcare workers. Right now, the vulnerability, I think right now leading with love means being vulnerable, being empathetic, being compassionate for what our communities are experiencing, what our friends and neighbors are experiencing. And we know that our health is linked to each other. Now this time has proven that we're only as healthy as our neighbors, as our friends, as our communities. Right. So, that's what we're here to try to instill into people. And I just hope that, through that vulnerability, that we can really save lives in many cases.
It is no accident that you lead with your gut and your company produces the probiotic gut beautiful drink that helps you with your gut. So I love that. Very quickly, I'm coming back to Julie because I have another question, but Rita, how are you practicing self-care?
I think that that's really important, and it is a level of maturity that people get to. And it comes at you at different times. Right now in my life, I'm a golfer. I like to golf alone. I spend maybe just
you have some dates that you golf with too.
Well, we're not going to talk about all that.
Come on, Rita.
Spill the juice. Bella helped me. Okay, so when it comes to my turn, I'm going to tell on you. But basically, one of the things that I do is I spend that 2 hours alone. I often am listening to, I have some people whose sermons I like. I may be listening to that. I may not listen to anything, but I spend some time alone. So I'm a writer, I'm a director. I need time alone. So being sheltered in place is welcome to my life. I'm always doing that. But I really think that's healthy. And then I think you have to get to your authentic self and be honest with yourself. You are what you think, you are who you love, you are what you eat. And you want to have a good time with that, but you really want to take care of yourself. So for everybody, including myself, that put on a little Rona 10 or whatever, you got to work that off because you want your heart to be healthy.
Right.
You want your heart to be healthy. It's not just your physical heart, but you're not healthy when you're not loving. And when you're not loving yourself, you can't be healthy. So that's a maturity level to get to. You got to love yourself.
It's maturity. I never thought of it that way. It is really, truly maturity. Thank you, Rita. Bella, how do you practice self-care?
I think that, really listening to that inner monologue and always correcting it, like I said before, kind of making sure, and for any of you that suffer from this, I think we all have that inner bully, that inner critic, talking to yourself like you would your best friend, incorporating that into your daily practice. And then, they say we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Really think about who you are giving your time to, right? And so self-care for me is spending time with what I call my elevator people that elevate me.
Yeah.
That love me. Elevate me, right? So being mindful of that is a huge part of self-care for me. And, listening to this, I'm going to definitely have more kefir, definitely get rid of the Rona 19.
Are you going to golf? Are you going to golf?
I would like to golf alone. That we need to talk.
I just like the clothes. Quickly, Julie, it's so important to me to bring up that you use your voice to advocate for women who are survivors of sexual assault. You have executive produced 2 films, On the Record and The Hunting Ground, which is a very brave and bold thing to do. How is it important to you to lift others whose voices can't be heard?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. Again, Oprah has done 260 episodes on this issue when she was doing her show, and it really stuck with me. And I remember when she was doing her exit interviews, Piers Morgan asked her, what do you regret? What do you wish you could have done more? And she said, I wish I did more on childhood abuse and sex abuse. And I thought, that is a lesson to learn, that even Oprah has a fear around this issue. And when I decided that I had an obligation, when I made it to a certain point, a certain level of success, when I made it, I had an obligation to have the hard conversations, to have the conversation that feels so scary to me, the thing that was most fearful, I was most afraid of, and to use that to change the world for my daughters, for all of our daughters, our communities. And, it's so powerful to have film as a tool to be able to, humanize the issue and put a face to the issue and inspire others to share their stories and be true and, not feel shame for this issue. So that's really, I wanted to change it for my kids.
And you stood on that stage at the Oscars with 50 other women who are survivors. That was a moment for you. It was probably the first time you came out as a survivor, and you are using your voice and your privilege, which you've mentioned, because you have been successful in your life by working really hard to be able to go out there and executive produce, because it takes funds to do that, and people that to make other voices heard. So we thank you for that. I want to ask everybody to tilt their computer screens down a bit, because we're getting asked for everyone to show their Love Wins sweatshirt, and I am going to take a picture because now we can see it. It's so cute. Okay, Love Wins. Oops, Love Wins. I love it. All right, thank you, Julie. But hold on, I'm going to talk to Rita for a second, and then we're going to get going. Rita is a producer and director who produced Maya Angelou's. Is it Lou or Low? I always say it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Low, as in high and low.
High and low. You told me that. Okay. You produced Maya Angelou's radio show at Harpo Radio. You went on to direct and produce her life story and Still I Rise, won a Peabody. You're working on another really cool film that I'm not speaking of unless you want to. You are dedicated to telling women's stories on film and through your writing. And the best way to impact a woman is to bring them up. And all of you do that. All bring women up. But I've known Rita over 30 years. We didn't meet at the Oprah Winfrey Show. We actually met at a different talk show. And I'm so grateful. I was her producer. She was my associate producer, which makes no sense whatsoever because she has all the wisdom. And I'm just like, what do I do next? What do I do next? And all I can say is thank you for being here. I'm honored. You, my friend, Rita, speak with so much wisdom that I get overwhelmed with it. It's just I feel it in my bones. And you have worked closely with and had deep friendships with Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey and Cicely Tyson and your mother and your grandmother and these legends of women. You've sat in rooms for hours with these legends. And in my opinion, you're a legend. So my question to you is, how are you impacting the world with all of this beautiful knowledge that comes to you naturally, but that you've also learned from so many powerful women?
I think that what I found out very early on about myself was that I was a storyteller. And the stories of people were important to me, particularly whoever you are, that is who you're supposed to be, as authentically as you can, as quickly to get to that authenticity, which may take decades, and not one step is a misstep. Right. So as I began my journey as a young person, one of the things that I saw was that the people that I lived around, my mother, my father, my aunts, whom I love very much, that their stories were left out. that they weren't in books, that they weren't in movies, that they were nowhere. And as I was being saturated with television, reading Pippi Longstocking, seeing the racist things in the Laura Ingalls Wilder books, which I loved so much, I then thought, I need to tell the truth. They need to see my people. And so I began to do stories. And as I began to write, and as I began to read, and as I began to listen, I was building, unbeknownst to me, the platform for telling stories. And when I got to the place that I could actually tell them, and when media changed, I published a book. And then when people were looking more at television, I started doing documentaries. So when I did the Maya Angelou documentary, and later did, I'm working on Marian Anderson, a civil rights activist and icon who started as a singer and who was born in 1897, became one of the wealthiest women in the world by 1935. And I mean, how does that happen? Your grandparents were enslaved and here you are. It happens because before her father died at 12, he loved her so much, took her to church every Sunday. They believed in her singing from them hearing her voice at 6. And then she becomes this contralto that travels the entire world. In the 30s, she's in Berlin. White people from America weren't in Berlin in the 30s, okay? And so she does this thing, and Toscanini says this and that. So how does this happen? So the way that I impact is I am spiritually drawn to the stories of women, to the stories of Black women in particular, of my people, and I simply tell them. And that's all I have to do. All I have to do is tell the story, because anytime a story is authentic, you will automatically see yourself in it. You will find your place in the room. You will grow yourself because that story is authentic. And that's all you have to do is excavate it. Excavate the story that is you. And that's how you grow.
Your story is your superpower. That is beautiful. I'm telling you.
And Bella. Don't you clap at me, because see, this is what happened. So when we went to your thing that was on the north side at that social thing,
yes,
I came up to Bella because she the love person, right? You know, everybody wants some love. And I said, you know, Bella, I got to tell you something. I said, now, I've been divorced and I was married for 34 years. Heart is broken, okay? I need some love. And I'm not going to be just loving anybody because a girl wasn't raised like that. And I said, so I got issues and problems. Bella, what did you say to me? Do you even remember?
I'm literally like
bad girl. So this is
what did I'm getting anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, what did I tell you in that moment?
Because this is what you said to me. She said,
get closer to your mic, Rita.
She said, Rita, you're on your path. I'm like, I want to see some testosterone in my path. But she was like, Rita, you're on your path. And I kind of accepted that. And it's been a hard path. I mean, I'm joking about it, but 34 years of thinking you were right about something, though nothing is wrong, you have a journey called life, and you need love in order to get through it. And so there were some things, and I had to accept. I didn't like to hear that, but the answer was, you're on your path. Mm-hmm. And as I accepted my path, there was some little love up the road. And Lou, I'm not telling you about that. I am not. And I'm not ready to share it all, because there's something about what you doing over there, Bella.
I'm waving the wand of love.
Girl, go with that. But see, what, Lou.
We got Ron, we've got Lips, we've got Kiefer. We're just all good with you, Rita.
Yeah, but see, here's what happens. I think that on that road, I organically accepted that I was on my path. and accepted that what was on my path ahead was for me. So for me as a Christian, God has this view that is bird's eye, and he can see your path up ahead, and all you can see is really in front of you, which is good enough, because all you have to do is be trusting and put one foot in front of the other. And
isn't that maturity?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's about. And it's the same thing that Julie's talking about. At a point, you can't eat French fries all day. Stop it. You have got to say, I care about this body. I care about this mind. I care about this heart. And you get to a point where you're just not going to give it away. You're just not. I'm going like, I spent 35 years over here, 34 years over here, coffees and things. I got to the point, only coffee. Because I'm not spending dinner with you. I'm not spending 2 hours with you if after 15 minutes I don't want to be bothered.
Well, Bella will tell you that.
So you have to trust yourself. And it's not about what you can get from someone. It's about what you can give. Yeah. And when your hand is that wide open and you're truly giving from an authentic place, your hand will automatically be filled. So I just accept it. I'm on my path. I didn't want to hear it, Bella.
Bella, your words. You know, when someone says words to you that stick with you, please, everybody, go out and tell that person that the words mattered. I think words we hear are so powerful, and you have no idea how they're going to land on someone, but clearly yours landed on Rita's. So that is magnificent. Julie,
someone said this, and I want to say this about words.
Yeah.
I heard this sermon once, and the minister said, she said that when you speak, your words literally take up legs and start walking toward what you spoke about. Wow. And so you have to go what you put in your body. And when you say, I'm going to be healthier, I came to terms last night, Julie, and I made a plan. And my Peloton hasn't gotten here yet, but I get the
Yay, Peloton!
Go Peloton!
Come on.
We'll Peloton together.
So that'd be great. And everybody else out there that does it, if you do. So what I did was I started watching the app, and I said, what I need to do is moderate my eating, exercise twice a day, and love everything about myself as I'm doing it.
I just have to tell a quick story. Peloton, my daughter Carly just got a job there. And let me just say this, the person she was interviewing with was Rita's mentee. I mean, life is great. You can't make that up.
It's like
you can't make them up. Julie Bansky, very quickly, because we got to stay on time, but how, you guys, I could talk to you for 2 hours, 2 days, 2 years. How are our new administration, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, leading with love, how is that going to impact us as humans?
Well, I think just having the stability and, having a sense of unity within and some sort of plan helps. If you have a plan, then you're already a lot farther than others. Right. So I think just this continuing sense of unity, of compassion, of seeing people in pain, vulnerability, all of that, using science. Science is so important. We have to lead with science as well as love. Right. And I think right now that's what we're going to see. A sense of stability is really important, and not like sort of re-traumatizing people with what
I feel so much lighter. Lighter is my word for 2021. I am lighter in my spirit, in my body, in my mind. I am lighter and I am happier. So I thank you all so much. When I see you win, when I see women that I admire who are shining their light so bright win, when I see you, Bella, on Good Morning America, and when I see you, Julie, on the Drew Barrymore Show, and when I see those beautiful Lifeway food commercials that you do that are so powerful, Rita, when I see you at your premieres for your films, I literally shine. It is when love wins for me the most, when I see other women I love and admire win. So thank you so much for being here on the Leading with Love panel at the Love Wins House Party in your Love Wins sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I hope that you'll stay for the love-ins. I hope you'll dance with Avera next. We're doing some giveaways, and I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. Julie Molansky, Bella Gandhi, and Rita Coburn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, bye, ladies. See you next time. Oh my gosh. Okay, the love-ins, so much wisdom. I hope you're all taking notes. The love-ins are coming up very soon, which is why I chose Hop In. I love this feature, but first, I really, 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 really want to check back in with Heather. Am I not checking in with Heather? Yes, I'm checking in with Heather because we need to know how she's doing. Oh my God, there's the heart. The heart. I got so in my panel. Look at this. Oh my God, there's so many layers. I don't even understand. That's so beautiful, Heather. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm full of paint. I jazzed it up with my sweatshirt.
I love it.
I loved reading and hearing about all the people that were coming from everywhere. So a couple hours before I went to my copier, I made tons of copies. I took notes of all the different cities that people were from, and that's what our heart is.
Oh, that's what it is.
Cities coming together.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I sent you the script, Heather. That is so brilliant. So we're all part of the story, you guys. We're all part of the story. That is so beautiful. And where are you gonna add words, or should we wait until we see the big reveal?
You'll have to wait for the big reveal, but it is not finished yet, and there are more layers to come.
I know. You have the most powerful story ever, and you have so much talent. I mean, how does it feel to literally do what you love every day and get messy in your paint?
Oh my goodness. You know, it's absolutely just a dream come true to be able to do something that, now I'm going to get choked up. I'm like, Paulo, that, and by the way, everybody's amazing, but I really identified with Paulo, and I remember your show, Paulo. Being able to do what I love and share it with other people, and the icing on the cake is that it is my career, is a marriage made in heaven for me.
Yeah, that's what Love Speaks is all about. It's when something you love speaks to you, whatever that is, your talent, whether it's painting or crunching numbers, whatever it is, that is what you should be doing. And that is what gives you life and air and breath and maturity and purpose. When we are in our purpose, fear has no access. So there's nothing that can stop us. And Paulo, for sure, his message really says that. And today, seeing you in all your glory and painting from your home, something that others will enjoy, that's the other thing. When you share your talent, others benefit. And that's when you are truly in service. So if there's anyone watching who doesn't take a compliment for their talent, you are doing a disservice to people. So own your talent, accept it, and say, how can I help you with it? If there's anyone out here who has a dream, don't quit. Don't quit. Just go and get it. Just use your legs, speak it into the universe. And like Rita said, use your legs and go get it. Oh my God. Heather, are you nervous? Are you going to get this finished, do you think?
Oh, I totally will get it finished. You know, I think of the analogy, you know, hearing everyone's wisdom, and it reminds me of an analogy of painting a painting, because every time I start a painting, I don't know where it's going, and I really don't need to see the whole staircase in order to take just the next step.
MLK.
Yeah.
My favorite quote.
Absolutely. And you know, just living in your purpose, no, there is no fear. I don't know where the painting's going. There's always that ugly middle where you're like, this is never going to work out, and all those little voices in your head start to question if you were making the right decisions, and you just
I love it already. And please promise that I get to ride with you down to North Lawndale and deliver this to the My Block, My Hood, My City crew, because I just can't wait to see their faces. So thank you, Heather. I'm going to check back in with you at the end of the Love Wins house party to see the big reveal. Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, let's take a dance break, everybody. We need to dance. All I ever wanted was love. I want just to be loved. I want just to be loved. I could do every one of these sessions all day long, especially with you, Amara. Get ready, you guys. Get ready to laugh your asses off. She is one of the most sought after comics in Chicago. And I just happen to be lucky enough to be her student. She literally makes women comics over a 5-week period. I don't even know how it's possible. So we can all use some laughs now. Obviously, we could all use a lot of laughs. Be prepared for many. Sit down while my friend Alex Human does stand up, sitting down.
All right, see you soon.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty, acting stupid. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage.
Hey, all right, we're here. Oh my God, I love it. So good to be here. Give it up for Sally Lou and DJ Avera and all the speakers. What an absolute morning it's been. I've done enough Zoom comedy this year to know that performing to yourself on a screen is it's purgatory. So it's a lot harder than it looks. So your chats are so helpful. It's so great to hear from you guys, and great to be here. And a special shout out to Julie for producing The Hunting Ground. We just saw that great conversation with those three gals just now. I worked at a rape crisis center for 7 years before I did comedy. We did a lot of work with that film and with Title IX violence prevention stuff. So hell yeah, cheers to Julie. We love it. I loved that job. I worked in sexual violence prevention and did school-based education on healthy relationships and consent and all that. It really made me realize how bad this country is with sex ed. Obviously I can't see or hear any of you, but think about if you remember anything at all that you learned from sex ed, because the only thing I remember learning is that my reproductive system looks like the logo for the Texas Longhorns. That's it. I also don't know why we teach it the way that we do. Like teaching kids to put condoms on bananas. Okay, that's a generous fruit. Okay, maybe we start with a baby carrot. Let's start there. Absolutely. Anyways, okay, let's get into some other stuff. It's really good to be here. I love the theme of today. I've been doing a lot of work on self-love lately. Nobody tells you that it's hard as shit. No one tells you that at all. I'd like to speak to someone about getting an hourly wage because I am putting in the work right now. I was so glad to hear Rita and Julie and Bella talking about it before, the psychotic optimism, yeah, give me a slice of that. Mama needs it. It's unreal. It's tough to talk about too. It's tough to talk about not loving yourself. Nobody likes to hear a hot person say they don't like themselves, but I'm a natural born pessimist with a history of childhood trauma. So I am living in a prison of my own design. Very fun, very good to be here. We love it. I think for me, the pandemic really magnified everything for me. I think it was a pressure cooker for all of us, right? But right now I'm doing just a lot of work in a lot of different ways, right? I'm in therapy, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing the artist way, chakra energy work, meditation, really taking a blitzkrieg approach to getting rid of my anxiety and depression. I've especially been getting a real deep dive into meditation, which I've been doing for a few years, but really amped up the practice this last year. Meditation is all about I'm sure all of you are experienced meditators. The Love Wins house party is going to have some meditators, but for those who don't practice regularly, it's all about not letting your mind wander, right? Especially into negative thinking patterns, right? Which is good in theory, but my mind doesn't wander. Okay, my mind Genghis Khans. Okay, it just finds anything weak or vulnerable and just attacks so hard. It's a war zone up here. It is a war zone. The best way that I can explain it is that my mind is like an obnoxious radio DJ that's just on air all the time. Okay. Just like, oh, welcome to WKQX, where we play Alex's fears and failures all day, every day. You hear that one line audition she fucked up last week? Let's hear it again. How about her overly competitive nature with other women despite her feminist values? What a doozy! Caller number 10 gets a copy of the diary she's too afraid to write in honestly for fear that someone will find it. So that's my brain. That's what's going on upstairs for me. Really what I'm trying to tell you is that I read a lot of self-help books. I'm really packing those in. All your big players, your Eckhart Tolles, your Pema Chodrons, your Don Miguel Ruizes. We're living the 4 agreements. We are trying. We're trying. We're not always, but we're trying. I think my problem with a lot of like self-love, and like we've talked a little bit about it today, is like that there's a difference between intellectual understanding and emotional understanding, right? Like I could write a report on how to love yourself, like stay present, feed the good wolf, practice gratitude. But like putting that into practice is much easier said than done, right? Like I'll see Instagram posts that are like, love is a choice. Choose it for yourself today. It's like, yeah, that sounds amazing. But my inner critic woke up before I did, and she's a huge bitch, okay? Enormous. She wakes up every morning at 5, okay? She's a bitch, but she hustles. She climbs out of the toilet where she lives and then just stands over me so that when I crack my eyes open to greet the day, she's just like, good morning, you lazy sack. You slept 10 minutes before your alarm today. Are you tired from all the nothing you've been doing during this pandemic? Maybe you'd be further in life if you could get your ass out of bed on time. And then that for the whole rest of the day. It's truly what a bad time up here. So I'm learning that like getting through all of that is not so much like getting rid of it as it is just like turning the volume down, right? Like turn the volume down on your inner critic, your radio DJ, change the channel, whatever you need to do. We're learning, we're healing, but I mean, my God, what a year it's been. One of the big things I am trying to do a lot of is like practice gratitude, right? Like I have my health right now, which is a really huge thing to have this year. Also, it's just huge for me personally because I did not have great health in the past. I had cancer twice in my 20s, and I'm okay now, several years out, which is great. I had thyroid cancer, which it's really easy to treat. It's a really good starter cancer if you're looking to get in the game at all. So just kind of think about that. I was 21 when I was first diagnosed, and a few years later, I decided to run the Chicago Marathon to raise money for the American Cancer Society because I am a hero. And it was such a great experience for me that I decided to run it again the following year. But that second time, I did not do it for charity. And that is when I got cancer again. So they are watching and they are keeping tabs. Always be on the lookout. They'll get you. I think this year and that experience for me, as well as this year, has really put into perspective how broken our healthcare system is. I think we have a really pretty terrible healthcare system, doesn't work for people. And one of the things that's so tough about it is there's so much, it's designed to confuse you. It's designed for you to fail. One of those designs is just that there's so much language that you have to be crystal clear on, so many things you have to know, but everything means something just like slightly different, right? Because you have your premium, which is what you pay for your plan, and your deductible, which is what you owe for plan services before your plan kicks in, and then your copay, which is what you owe at the time of service. But that's different than your coinsurance, which is your share of the cost of the health plan. And then your plan might be a PPO, which doesn't require a primary care physician or a PCP, or an HMO, which does, but that's more like a POS. And then if you have an HMO, your PCP needs to refer you to a specialist when you see one. But when you do that, you have to make sure everything's in network. Otherwise, you might be responsible for the whole bill, which may or may not count towards your out-of-pocket maximum, which is not the same as your deductible. Your plan name might be something like Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue Precision Silver HMO, or Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue Precision Choice PPO, which are both real plans with different premiums, networks, and providers. And if you get prescription drugs, you might get formulary, non-formulary brand drugs, formulary, non-formulary generic drugs, specialty drugs, or you can just blast a rail of cocaine. Same kind of manic energy we're working with on both. God, I should be used to doing Zoom shows and not hearing any feedback or seeing people, but it is a real, what a time to be alive. All right, guys, I'll tell one more and then we'll get out of here and we'll continue with this beautiful day. So we have a lot of Chicagoans on the call today on the Love Wins house party. We got slammed real hard this week with snow. We got like 13 inches or something. I just spent the morning digging out my car, which I don't even know if I need to do. It's not even worth digging out. It's such a piece of garbage. I drive a 2000 Toyota haunted house. It is actively trying to kill me. Everything is broken. The side view mirror is cracked. The brakes are a suggestion. I also didn't know windshield wipers could smear rain like oil paint. That's a very fun new experience for all of us, I think. So I get very jealous when I see cars that are nicer than mine around town. Like I was walking down the street the other day, I saw two Jeeps drive past each other and they gave like the Jeep honk and the wave. Like we've all seen that, right? Like, oh, no doors, we can off-road. It's like, cool, must be nice. Because I drove past someone driving a 2000 Toyota Corolla the other day. We made eye contact and both of our noses started to bleed. So you win some and you lose some there. I have to rent cars a lot. I'll rent a car anytime I have to drive more than 2 hours or up a hill. And I love renting cars because I get a peek of the other side, right? I get to see just kind of like what that's going to be like someday. I have my sights set on a luxury vehicle at some point in my life. Like that's like my Prince Charming, right? Just like beautiful, sleek, luxurious, would love it. I think I'm mostly sold on it. Like the commercials for luxury vehicles are really what gets me. Like they do such a good job of selling that lifestyle. And they all sound the same, right? Like just like this sexy British woman, just like freedom from the bounds of convention. 72 horsepower of V6 craftsmanship. 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. The all-new Lexus RX. Experience amazing. It's like, wow, yes, beautiful. I will experience amazing. Yes. My thing is like, why didn't Toyota grab that gal? Like, we need her on our team. Can you imagine how Toyotas would just fly off the shelves if she was on our team? Just like, anyone can go fast. The question is, does your vehicle shake above 50 miles an hour? Experience the style and technology of two scooters take together. 0 to 60 in 27 miles. With all fabric interior that comes pre-stained. Is it coffee? Is it blood? We'll never tell. Introducing the probably used Toyota Corolla. Getting you there sometimes. You guys are so great. Thank you, Sally Lou. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Don't go away, Alex. I'm dead. I am deceased. I am dead. I am dying. She's a bitch, but she hustles. Oh my God. Everything. I mean, the lines. I miss you so much. I'm so grateful you are here today. We need a new administration and a vaccine, and we got them, but we need more of you. That is what we need in 2021. You are hilarious. The chat was going crazy. I hate that you can't hear laughter, but I was howling, and so was everybody else. I got my friend Maggie and Jess from our comedy class are here. And they're all just dying laughing. And I adore you, Alex Cumin. Thank you for doing your stand-up.
Thank you so much.
Down. All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. She's a bitch, but she can hustle. Okay. All right. I got to speed up. We're just a couple minutes over, which is good because I thought we would be an hour over. Okay. It's time to shine some light. Light and love on someone who looked at 2020 square in the face and said, I'm still going to win. So, Itika Grimble, she is a dear friend of mine. So let me collect myself. She is a Black female business owner in Los Angeles of a luxury, beautiful, beautiful floral boutique in downtown LA. And when all the violence broke, she boarded up her store, she marched for racial justice, and then opened her store back up and pivoted a lot, made big pivots in her business, and then her business boomed and it bloomed in ways she never expected. Take a look.
Itika Oldwine Gribbler proved love was not canceled in 2020. First, with a few pivots, her downtown LA floral business bloomed, despite being in the midst of a global pandemic and racial injustice. Next, her then boyfriend Brian proposed in May, and Itika and Brian married in October. And now, this happy couple will welcome their baby girl in April, making the last 12 months one epic love wins story.
Because we've got such a story to tell. Oh my gosh, my dear friend, former audience teammate at the Oprah Winfrey Show. I hired Itika, so she's very special to me. You are the founder of Old Vine Florals in downtown LA, and you made 2020 and the pandemic look powerless because you decided you're not gonna lose. Nope, not on your own watch. You are going to win, and that is why I am highlighting you as the Spotlight on Love winner today, because your love speaks. Listen, I've seen you go through some stuff, and you have seen me go. I mean, that's a moment. Does that shock you? And you've seen me go through some stuff, and now I see you sitting here in all your glory, and I mean all of it. I mean, your business not only survived, it bloomed and boomed. Brian proposed to you. You had a micro wedding with all of your closest, dearest people. And tell us what delivery is happening in April.
Well, March 31st, Lulu, not April. Okay, I need it to happen sooner than later.
Okay,
we're having our little girl. You can barely check
it out.
Can you
stand up?
I can stand up for you.
Just for a second. That's baby girl Grimble. So, Itika, you just did it all in 2020. I've known you so long, and you got it all. Tell us what that feels like.
It feels so amazing. I mean, I had high hopes for myself, right? You know me. I've been very, I'm hopeful. I'm driven. I try to stay as optimistic as humanly possible, but I didn't see 2020 panning out with a proposal, a marriage, and a baby. As optimistic as I am.
And a business that not only thrived, I mean, it thrived. Your business thrived.
Yeah.
I mean, you just did an installation for Disney. You were delivering to high-powered celebrities in LA and their children for Valentine's Day. You sold out. You're really doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah, it's been surreal in one moment. It's like, is this really happening? And then in the next moment, when you really think about all of your hard work and dedication, from the time we met, Sally, I met you, I was 24 years old.
I'm telling me your age. Okay.
Which was 2 days ago. So,
absolutely.
Until today, I think about like every single decision that I made has helped me get to where I am today.
Yeah. And something you said, you were a guest on my Love Speak Series podcast in February, and you said something about putting yourself out there. What can people do who are looking for love, not only for love like Bella Love, like looking for a love mate, but also loving what they do every day and waking up and feeling like I am in love with my life?
Yeah, I mean, it's really about your attitude. It's really about making a decision to have a different point of view and to look at things from a different lens. And I say that to my girlfriends. I mean, people that I talk to, who I'm close with, who I know their ins and outs of what's going on. And I
Shout out to Gloria. I know Gloria's here, the foot nanny.
Hey, Chloe. Hey, foot nanny, who has a great attitude. Foot nanny is not about to let anything get in her path.
I know that.
Stop her.
I know.
But it really is. It's just about having gratitude, having a great attitude, and every day, regardless. And I understand that it can be difficult, but what's worse, to sit and, wallow and sad and think about the worst outcome? Like, it hasn't happened yet. The worst outcome has not happened yet. So until it happens, let's just stay positive and keep going.
And that is the worst thing that anyone can choose to do nothing. And you have to put yourself out there, because nothing's going to come at your door and say, hey, I'm here. It has to happen. And you have to speak it and put it into existence. And I love what Rita said. It's such a good visual of our legs moving towards what you want as soon as you speak it.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how did it feel to pivot in your business? You had something happen that was very cool. You had a phone call from someone that you weren't expecting. Do you remember that?
Was this
about delivery? The man that called you and he wanted to have business with you, and you were like, I'm too busy. And then the pandemic came, and then you decided to do ad delivery.
To do my daily deliveries, so more rather than events. Yes. So I have pivoted in so many ways, Sally Lou. So I'm like,
which pivot? I know.
As I told you earlier, on an earlier call, my business had 84% of its revenue come from events. Right. So for Old Vine, we're in Los Angeles, so we are the entertainment capital of the world. Right. So we're doing red carpet events, we're doing product launches, we're doing big extravagant weddings. And obviously with the stay-home order that was enacted in LA and pretty much never got lifted, we could no longer service our event clients. So we had to go into a delivery-driven model. And we had never done it before. I'm a first-time business owner. This is my first time owning a floral business or any business. And so to have to change after 3 years of growing my business into a whole nother model, it was very scary. But I was able to work with some people that encouraged me, told me that it could be done, gave me a few tips on how to get started with just contacting every client I had, letting them know that we're still delivering flowers, we're doing it contactless. And honestly, the flower business has thrived during this time because people want to continue to show that love wins, right, by giving people their flowers, whether they're giving their mom their flowers because they can't see her because of social distance, or they're giving coworkers their flowers because they're not in the office together. We're continuing to give people their flowers in 2020 and beyond.
Beautiful. I sent a delivery for your delivery. Yes. You want to open it real quick?
I do. So this is the package.
That's the package from Little Peach.
I love a good package. It's so pretty. It says Little Peach.
Open up what's inside, Tiki.
A small branch of peach tree place. Okay, I'm gonna open
it. It's super cute. It's for your delivery. I know.
Oh, this is so lovely. I love the ribbon.
As you're opening, Itika, are you ready for your biggest delivery?
I am not. Tell me how does one get ready, Sally?
You just have it. You just have the baby and then you figure it out. It's all good. I got her one too. This looks really big, but it's a little small. And I'm going to send it to you for baby girl Grimble. It looks cute. She'll wear it when she's 10.
Yeah, I'll tell her from Auntie Lulu. Yeah, no, I'm not
ready. Ready to be Auntie Lulu.
I'm terrified. I'm very, I'm not scared of most things, but this is one thing that I'm just like, what part of the delivery, like at what point do I get to push the button and say, you know what, I don't know.
You can't. There's no button for escape, but what I would say is there's a button for the epidural, and I highly recommend it. Some people don't. I recommend it. And I think that if you go in with a confidence of bringing life into this world and with your beautiful partner, Brian, by your side, it is all going to be wonderful, and perfect. And I literally cannot wait for her arrival, and I can't wait to come to LA to visit and just love on baby girl Grimble.
Yes. Oh, Lulu.
Okay.
Look.
So I got her a little outfit. Oh, a little doll. I forgot about the doll. Isn't she cute? She's so cute.
Looks like me. Hey, girl.
A little bit. And then I got you a little outfit. This is too cute. I'm sorry. How cute is that? Lift it higher.
You are literally.
I can't.
You are one of my real lifestyle icons, Sally Lou. I don't know if I've ever told you that. So when I put this on her, I'm just going to whisper in her ear, like, you have been blessed by one of the stylish women to walk this. Like, literally.
That comes from my mommy. That comes from my mommy, who I pray to God is on here. She's 88 years old. She is a style icon queen, and her friend's granddaughter helped her get on the lake. So I'm praying that she's on today. I love you, Mom. Itika Oldwine Grimble, I love you so much. Congratulations on all your success, on your business, on your love, your marriage, your baby. You showed that love wins with hard work and perseverance and an open heart. And I can't wait to meet the newest edition of your family. I love you, Tina.
Sally Lou, really quickly before we leave.
Yeah.
Am I going to get to toast to you? I have an Arnold Palmer.
Oh, awesome. I have like fake champagne because I don't drink it.
I poured it just for you. So
cheers, Tiki Rock. I love you so much.
This has been incredible. Thank you for doing this for us, Sally Lou. This has been an awesome experience today.
Thank you for being here. I will absolutely continue to text you and drive you crazy.
Yeah, please.
I love you, Tiki Rock. Say hi to Brilliant.
Love you more.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Avera, come on back. It's my song, my jam. Okay, ready? Everybody, I want you to sing together. When they say, do you remember? Even though I can't hear you, crank it, Avera. Okay, coming up. Say you remember and Sally Lou remember. Ready? Ready, Karen Stein? Okay, I just had to get that moment. Oh, Vera, thank you. Oh, that takes me back to 9th grade. Okay, and that's the point. If a song has taken you back or made something come alive inside of you, that is what today is all about. Okay, so a very special thank you to my friends and sponsors, Henry Robin and Bob McGarity, whose story is their superpower. If you haven't taken a look at their video in the expo booth, which will stay open past 3:30, I love this song too. Please take a look at this video right now.
Meet the Love Wins House Party. Sponsors Bob McGarity and Henry Robin. Henry was my first roommate when I moved to Chicago in 1984. He met my 10 wardrobe boxes before he met me, and we're still friends. Henry and Bob got married, so I got another friend. When Henry and Bob heard about the Love Wins House Party, they said, how can we support you? Because that's the kind of people they are. They are givers, they are lovers, they are my friends. After 2 successful careers, Henry in finance, Bob in human resources, they retired to New York City and to the Pines in Fire Island. I should maybe say on Fire Island. Anyway, Henry is now the mayor of the Pines in Fire Island, which shows that he's not slowing down anytime soon. Henry was also a director at the Human Rights Campaign, advocating for gay rights and just spreading his heart and his love as Bob does the same. So I couldn't be more thrilled, more grateful that my sponsors today for the speakers for the Love Wins House Party are Henry and Bob, my dear friends. Thank you so much for your support.
Oh my gosh, Marcy Cole, I know you are smiling wide. We have quite a story. There's so many of us on the call here today or at the party that know our story with Henry and Bob. I need to write not even a book. I need to write a script on that because it is worth every moment of our story. And the title is Make Room for Bob. So anyway, enough of that because it's too long of a story, but it's a good one. So call me, I'll tell it to you. Anyway, thank you, Henry and Bob. Your passion for putting love into the world is just magnificent. And thank you so much. I don't think I've been looking at my camera this whole time. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much for the love that you've given us all here today and letting us convene like this in a time when we need love the most. So come on back, Heather, and let's check in. Come on back, Avera is what I meant to say, and let's check in with Heather. Okay, Heather, this is a big reveal. Oh!
I really love your slogan, and I really wanted that to be the focus, and the idea that we can think globally with everyone's cities all in there. And I also added on the outside of the heart, if you can see it, is the My Block, My Hood, My City slogan. That's something simple I can do that will have a positive impact on my block. So if we think, what can I do, and then how that spreads to the world is my message. What's your message?
When we were on the call with Nathaniel from My Block, My Hood, My City, and he said that what's something simple we can do to benefit our block, and you incorporated it. It's absolutely beautiful. I cannot believe you did this in just 2 hours time. You are a phenomenal artist, muralist, friend. I'm never leaving your life. You are now officially in mine. I'm working on your book title because your story is so freaking powerful. And I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, Heather. This mural is our story today. We are giving it, from 130 people who have bought tickets to the Love Wins House Party. It's part of the giving back that we're doing today when we give them a portion of the ticket sales as well as a beautiful hanging that will remind every student who thinks that this is it for them, that it's not. Thank you so much. Thank you, Heather. Your love speaks. Your love
Thank
speaks.
you.
Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted. We did it. We did it. Stay with me, Heather, or not, or come back. We did it. We did it, Avera. Thank you. The Love Wins House Party was lit. Every time I rehearsed this and I said this, I was like, is it really going to happen? And it happened. I can't even believe it. Avera, you were phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
So happy, so happy. I want to thank, do y'all feel like you won today? You won something? I feel like I won the lotto. I am so grateful for this love that I do Melissa Wood Health, which is, a health app, and I do her Pilates, and when she does her live, she goes, I can see you. I can feel you right there. I'm like, I know what you mean, Melissa Wood. I feel you. I see you. And I can't wait to see you all in person, live, one day soon when we're all vaccinated and having love, but having changed love, a new kind of love, a more important and purposeful love. And I can't wait for that. I just want to say thank you to all those who were attending and who got all of our emails because it was a lot. I understand we really didn't want to do it on Zoom. We wanted to do this on this cool platform, and I think we succeeded. I loved Hopin. Thank you, Jenna, for pushing me. I was brave to do it, but you made me brave. I want to thank all the speakers today for sharing their hearts. Paulo Presta, we're not the same. Julie Smolansky, Rita Coburn, Bella Gandhi, Atika Oldwine Grimble, Alex Cumin, freaking made me laugh so hard. Heather Gentile Collins, Shannon Booth, who's not here today, but House of Sham, DJ Vera, Henry Robin, and Bob McGarity, Margaret Nikitas from Pink Heart Paint, Bread Monster Inc., my friends, and My Block, My Hood, My City, Jenna Safino, Julie Mute, Sarah Farnan. I could not have done this without you. I do not speak your tech language. Thank you for speaking mine. Your love speaks. Everybody, please follow me at Live Love Speaks because I don't know. It just looks like there's a lot there that we're all going to enjoy because everyone's experience is different and you're all walking away with something that's just uniquely for you. So take that gift and go enjoy it, own it, recognize it, and then give it to someone else. Thank you, everybody. Your love speaks. Let's play that music, Avera.
All right, let's go. We're going to have some fun these last few minutes, guys.
Last few minutes. Play the best song you know. Oh.
I ain't never seen nothing that'll make me go this crazy. I'm like spinning my door.